What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 71 of Tales of the Cypher. My name is Emil, and I'm with my boy SUGY. What up, B?
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
Yes, sir. We had the pleasure of talking with the one and only Benzo from Bag of Trix. We had a little Red Bull BC1 special, but we also obviously wanted to take this opportunity to chat with Benzo since it was really our first time, our second guy from Toronto, and a guy with a lot of histories who I'm sure we'll bring back for another or a few more other episodes. What did you think of the episode, SUGY?
Well, I was expecting to be kind of like on my toes the whole time because we were probably going to hear some stuff that we would hear for the first time. And knowing that we don't, like we can't just like spend hours and hours and hours chatting with a guest. I knew it was and it's kind of like it's our problem at this point, right? But so there's a bunch of stuff that I wish we had more time to talk about. But Benzo was really generous of his time and knowledge, so already really happy we got to do this one with him.
But we'll definitely get to do more of that for sure. Someone with his experience and his stories, we definitely want to hear more. But as I quickly mentioned, it was a Red Bull special. So we did want to promote that. So SUGY, tell us a bit about the details for Red Bull BC1 Canada Cypher.
So once again, Tales of the Cypher, CYPHERSONS, we're partnering, or partners.
You got it.
Partners with the team at Red Bull Canada and Red Bull BC1. Shout out to Benzo and Boog Jester for the connect.
Yes,
very happy to speak about the Red Bull Canada BC1 Cypher that's going to be happening October 7th. If you want a spot in the Canadian Cypher, you need to take part of the virtual application process that's happening on Instagram from September 1st to September 14th. That's how it kind of goes. You have to post a minute that's under 1 minute long. Your profile needs to be set to public. That's very important. Otherwise, we won't see your post. So you have until September 14th to apply. And if you need and want more details, you can go to REDBULL.CA /BC1, and you can get all of your information straight on the Canadian Cypher. And then, if you win, you're taken care of. You're sent to Toronto for the face-to-face battles that are going to be happening on October 7th. The winner of that competition will be flown out to Poland to the Last Chance Cypher November 5 and 6 of 2021. So so shout out to Red Bull, shout out to Benzo and Boog Jester again for that opportunity. Make sure to check out Red Bull Canada. Make sure to participate. It's a big opportunity for Canadian B-boys and B-girls to dance on a bigger stage. And we hope to see a lot of you guys entering the contest, the application on Instagram. Anything else, Emil?
No, man, just a massive opportunity, like you said, for Canadian breakers, really to get on that Red Bull platform. But other than that, I mean, we also want to shout out our own little plugs there for social media. So you can always reach out to us at CYPHERSONS on Instagram and Facebook, as well as info@cyphersons.com. And our episodes release every Monday or so. We'll be releasing this one tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th of September. But usually around every Monday or so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other popular podcast platforms. And that's it. Other than that, we good, bro?
I think we good. So you guys enjoy the show, and voila.
Peace out.
Enter Red Bull BC1 Canadian Cypher. Let's go. Peace.
All right, we're with the one and only from one of the most legendary crews in the nation, representing Bag of Trix. Benzo, my man, how are you? Thank you for your time.
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me on the CYPHERSONS show, yo.
Oh yeah, the CYPHERSONS show. I love that.
Yeah, we can rename it. Yeah.
The CYPHERSONS show. I love it, man.
Right.
Nice.
We're aiming for TV, guys. We're aiming for TV.
But it's weird. I was because yesterday there was an event in Montreal, and I was chatting with my parents this morning about the event, and they were asking me about like the podcast and like where this thing can go, and I was like, you know what? I think we should we could have like wrote a pitch deck and try and sell this project to a TV broadcast or.
Oh yeah, you guys, like you said, the 71 episodes deep, man. That's crazy. You guys have a crazy catalog. So I think that would be the best idea. That's the next level.
If someone's listening to this and want to help us out, let us know.
Right, give them a show.
But listen, we're very excited to have you, of course, because we're teaming up with Red Bull again for some BC1 activities, but we do want to get to know the story behind Benzo, the story behind Bag of Trix. You're someone that's been around for, I'll say, forever, because we're not exactly sure what the precise date is, but we do know you've been around for quite a while. I'll say something that I think it's a thing that I find is hilarious, is that Montreal's like one of Montreal's most notorious crew, Flow Rock, was known back then for having like a legendary beef with Montreal Tactical Crew, as well as some rivalry with you guys, Bag of Trix, and I think I don't know who shared with me the story, but they came to a battle one time in Toronto with a shirt that says "Bag of Chips."
Oh yeah. That's as it goes along. Like and you know what the thing is? The feud wasn't like when we see each other, there's gonna be a fight.
Right? Yeah.
It was just straight hip hop like battle.
Yeah.
Make shirts, make fun of these guys.
So good.
Like you know, like anything of that nature. And then when we're done, I'm like hanging out with DKC and you know what I mean, like Dazzle, and we're smoking and drinking and but yeah, man, that there's a long history of crazy. You know what? I'll bring you right to the beginning.
Let's go.
When we first started getting noticed as Bag of Trix, and Walken brought us down to the Radiotron. Is that what it was called, or something like that?
Yes, I think there was a Radiotron Montreal.
Yeah. I think that's what, I could be wrong, but I think it was something of that nature. But we still, the footage is out there too. It's still out there. But he invited us to that, and that kind of was like that was kind of like the first time I've ever been to Montreal, to be honest with you. Because I was a kid, you know, coming from Jane Street. Jane Street is like the longest street in, I believe, Ontario or something like that. But on our side of Jane Street, it's really bad. It's kind of like the project in a sense. One of the projects in the city. And most of the time, you don't really leave, you know, your area or parish, or, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? I would compare it to, I don't want to like calling bad places in Montreal, and people beat me up and saying like, well, that's not a bad place, but it's almost like a Côte de Neige to Toronto. So so they brought us out there, and this was our first time out there, and from that moment we knew we were cool with all those guys, but we knew that there was going to be some heated battles, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Walken brought us there as a guest. And I guess after everybody saw us there, the next time they saw us, like which would be the Spectrum battles, which is all good battle that Crazy Legs judge. That would be the next time they saw us, and it was not like it's friendly. It was like straight like we're ready to burn these guys. Nice. Like we gotta get these guys. Yeah. Right? So and it kind of kept going. Like even when we so not to say flow rock kind of like just kind of disappeared, but you know, people have things just, you know, flow rock didn't stay together that long. Tactical was up on the uprise, you know.
Yeah.
And it continued. It was like, okay. We thought, you know, after flow, we were like, okay, we're good enough. And then it came back again.
But it seemed, yeah, go ahead.
And tactical, and it's so funny. It almost happened the same way again because they invited us down for a show, right? And to be honest, this probably, we didn't perform at this show. They invited us to see this show. I don't know if you guys have in contact with any of them, but ask them about this show. Probably the most amazing stage show I've ever seen. When it comes to like small stage show productions. It happened in Montreal. These guys brought us to this show, and it was like a lot of dancing, and they were breaking in. It was fucking amazing. That I actually fell in love with Montreal at that point. We're talking like 94, 95.
Wow.
You wouldn't remember the name of the show, eh?
No, but I know some of the guys from Tactical. I know at least Dingo might know, or one of those guys might know.
Okay.
What show that was. Okay. And yeah, man, it was amazing. Like just that moment, I was like, yeah, I love Montreal. And then when we saw them again at the 97 battle of government, the Clash battle, I think it was 97, 98. Okay. They were like out to kill us. They were like, we gotta get these guys.
But it did seem like a proper feud, you know. It wasn't like from my impression, it seemed like a proper rivalry, and it wasn't like on some flow rock tactical shit or some, you know, Bag of Trix, supernatural, you know, like the rivalries you have within your own city, right? It seemed like that proper type of rivalry. But when you said it was your first time you went to Montreal, was it, you said 93, 94? Do you remember, like, before I guess you fell in love with the city or with that show that you saw, do you remember like your first impressions, like since you'd come from Toronto, right? It was your first time coming there. Did you notice, you noticed probably a bunch of different things culturally wise, or?
Oh, for sure, culture shock. It was amazing. So I've always been open to just other cultures, you know. And I think it started from, I'm born here, right? My entire family is born in Barbados. So my first exposure to tropical West Indian culture, that was a culture shock for me when I actually realized what it was. Like I was there, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old, but you don't really remember that. When you get there like 10, 11, and you're like, God damn, like, you know, some places don't have electricity, like stuff like that, you know, like, so when I was going to Montreal, I knew I didn't know how to speak French. So I knew, I was like, okay, how am I gonna communicate? You know what I mean? And that was actually like kind of my biggest worry. Like, how am I gonna talk to people? Like, because again, not that I was like, we didn't have any knowledge of other places in Canada, but the first time going there, you know, coming from high school, because I'm still in high school. You know what I'm saying? So right. So I'm like trying to figure this out, and getting like, just when I got to Montreal, it was a completely different picture that I had painted in my mind. It was completely different.
Okay. Interesting.
And the people were friendly. You know, regardless of the fact that I couldn't speak French, some people were encouraging me to speak French just to help me out. Like, you know, it's just like gestures, and Montreal embraced me with arms open. I call anybody asks me about like Canada, and they ask me like, yo, what's your second home? Like in Canada, it's definitely Montreal. It's just, I've been going to Montreal for years all my life, and I love the city because it's really big. You guys are really artsy and musical base, right? So if that falls right into like what I'm about, so yeah, man. So,
cool, man.
Well, it was kind of like a weird way to to kick this conversation off, but I wanted to get this off my chest because I've been meaning to get some some details about this historical moment for Montreal and Toronto, because I feel like this feels like the first few connections between our cities. I don't know if it's safe to say that you guys kind of like bridge that gap, and I don't know if any other dancers that did it before that, from Montreal to Toronto or vice versa. But anyway, take us back to your early beginnings. Like how did everything kicked off for you? Like not just in terms of breaking, but more like hip hop. And how did you notice breaking at first?
Oh, my brother was always into hip hop, right? Like I said, I was born here, so when they came here, he had already seen Flashdance, and you know what I mean. Like it was that era. I was into like BMX riding and playing street hockey, and I still listen to like Michael and a little bit of Run DMC, but I wasn't heavy into it, right? I was still a kid, but then my brother was heavy into it, and that's what made me like jump right into it. Just following the elders, and the shit felt positive, and the music I liked it. So my house has always been a musical house, from like country to calypso to soca, meringue, funk, soul, classic. It's all. My dad has crates. It's crazy. So I've never been short of music, right? So
Nice.
Right.
But when I found a music that kind of really resonated to like what we were trying to do, like it kind of spoke to us. And yeah, that's how it started. And the crazy thing is, I was never really impressed by the MD forte when it, my mind was always blown by dancers. And here's the crazy thing, it's like my dancers that influenced me the most were ones that were just like everybody else, seeing from Crazy Legs to break to
Right.
Washington Beach Street,
Yeah.
and, Wild Style. Everybody's seen those clips. But the hip hop dancers, because this is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and I don't know why, but Toronto was never just straight breaking. It died out in the late 80s. There's a gap, right? From like, I would say from like 86 to 87. Like that era right there, going into, Big Daddy Kane's dancers, Scoop and Scrap, were wearing like Gucci linen suits and stuff. You know what I mean? Like with flat shoes, and they were dancing in like, dressed up gear. Like people stopped breaking. A lot of the party dances started blowing up, and that's what was happening here. That's what we all were into. And then, even house music, when that blew up too, that my brothers and sisters were into that shit heavy. And I got into it with them too, because, it was just like, it was a very fatty thing that was going on. But the music was consistent, because we listened to 88.1 every Saturday. Ron Nelson, he's playing his hip hop music, reggae music. It's like a thing, like but you could see how the eras were changing, and the breaking wasn't happening like you see like Maestro's era. That dance era was all that whole party rock style era,
Right.
And a lot of it was like the mock top that they kind of implemented from Buddha Stretch and those guys, right? So a lot of that was going on, and for me and I guess Gizmo and Tic Tac too. And this is a point where we actually didn't even know each other.
Okay.
And I'll get to that story, because Bag of Trix is kind of like two separate pieces that came together.
Okay.
And it was this thing where we loved this music so much, and the dance. We were just like, there has to be a root to this thing, you know what I mean? To this dance. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So we started researching. My brother was like, yo, I got some old tapes. And we started to realize, like, you know, Legs and those guys were still around. Not as a big crew, but some of those guys were still dancing. And it's kind of like an intertwined story because I've got so much family in New York. I've been going to New York since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
My uncles, they brought me around Central Park and all those places. They'd bring me to Brooklyn. They'd bring me all over the place. Anywhere there's hip hop, they'd bring me. But I didn't really get to see Rocksteady or any crews in Dynamic Rock. There's nobody in the city at that time. Just because maybe I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I saw a lot of rap concerts, right? But I didn't get to see too much breaking. But the talk was it was still happening. And we were searching, trying to put our shit together. And we started mixing the pieces that we had from, you know, breaking with the stuff that we used to do in the parties.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, people can argue this with me, but thread the needle is not a breaking move. You know what I'm saying? It's like grabbing your foot and jumping over your leg. That's the party move shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of opened the envelope and was like, yo, let's mix this shit. And that's how kind of Bag of Trix, that's how we kind of started. Me and my brother, some members that you guys don't know, like this Magic. There's just, these are all the guys that hone that style that I helped grow in that style. And that's where a lot of that, you know, the threads and arm links and all that stuff just came. We just with the party stuff. Now, I don't want people to be like, oh, you guys talk about inventing. We didn't invent anything, right? We just took a few pieces and put them together because we kind of didn't know anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we knew like foundation Bronx. It's impossible. We're upstate. We're far. You know what I mean? We're nowhere near where this is happening, and we're just getting clips. I used to have VHS tapes of clips of anything that I would see dancing. I would record it. I mean, like anything hip hop dancing, breaking, I would record it, just to study from. And it's not like you would take the move and chomp it. Be like, yeah, that's no. We'd always like try to flip it. Thread the needle. We didn't flip. We just took it and put it on the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And we've never taken credit for that. That's actually, I think it's either Scoop or Scrap from Big Daddy Kane. They actually told me they took that from Chinese theater, which is kung fu. Right.
Okay.
And the 36 chambers. No, what's his face jumps over his leg. If you say,
right.
If you see it, he jumps on the log and throws his foot. Jumps over. Yeah, they took that from there and they put it into the dance. And it's the fused dance, right? So we thought we were the only ones doing that. Me, my brother, you know, Magic, and Tommy Steves, who was Days back then. We used to think that we were the only ones doing it.
You had the exclusivity on this move.
we thought we were the only ones in the city. Like, yeah, we got this. And we went to a jam with DJ Grouch, and he was throwing it, and went to this jam. And when we usually go out to party, not to dance, like to party, you know, you dress up a little bit better, you know?
You smell better too.
Yeah, right? So yeah, exactly. We're not going to session. So we go there, you know, we're all dressed up nice. And there's a cypher already happening. Remember, this is DJ Grouch's party. It's like our DJ. Grouch's turnstiles, like that's our family. So if any cypher is happening, it should be us. Right? So we get there and we start realizing there's two guys in matching outfits just ripping apart Cypher. Like in orange jackets and plaid. Remember that style, like bright orange jackets and plaid,
Right.
Yeah.
pants, and yeah, you're all white Stan Smiths, you know, that type of style. And I was like, who are these guys? And one Filipino guy's just going in, snapping. And it was Gizmo.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Okay.
And we were like, we got to go back home to change. So we drove back home.
Wow.
Amazing.
We drove back home. It was like 15-20 minute drive. Came back like fully ready, and we battled. And it's crazy, man. Gizmo, like that's the first time I ever seen like crunch. And then he was doing it. He was doing it with like holding his leg, like he was gonna thread it, but he's just holding it, going.
Okay.
I was like, oh, who the hell is this guy? Like, doing those crazy, like, you know, that one arm hand spin that he goes. He's just doing, and I'm like, what the hell? Who is this guy? And then he's doing threads. So we're like, what's going on? Like, how is this guy, you know,
Yeah.
doing threads? And then tic-tac-toe, he had his style, and we just, so I'm not even gonna lie, he hosted our ass that night because I wasn't ready, and I was the younger one, but he was just on another realm. He had his foundation, matter of fact, down, because he could do all the spinning from floor to air. He had them all.
Wow. What year was this again?
No, this is probably, I would say, 91.
Wow. 91, and he has all that.
Yeah, it was pretty mind blowing because it's like meeting like Iverson for the first time, and like what the hell? This guy has all these, and we thought they were tricks because remember, we're just growing into learning, like, you know, real terminology and breaking.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the terminology that we got from the guys in the 80s, it's like they call it different stuff, and it's not exactly. The guys here call it some stuff that's a bit different from the guys in the States, so it gets a little confusing. So, but anyways, he had all this stuff, like his swipes of players were insane, like just. But he had that style, like you could see there was house music into him. You could see he had hip hop in him because he would thread and do all kinds of stuff with arm links. I was like, oh, this guy knows what's up. And then after he fucking blew up the circle, we all rushed him. He thought we were gonna jump him. This is a true story. He'll tell you the story if you ever talk to him. He thought we were gonna jump him, but we ran in there and we gave him the biggest hug, and we were like, yo, man, are you in a crew? And he's like, nah, man, it's just me and my homie. And we're like, yo, you're in a crew now.
Nice. Easy like this.
Yeah, and because it was like a whole bunch of us. He's in our territory, right? So we're just like, yo, man, you're definitely in this crew. You can come around here anytime. And that's where the legacy started. We didn't even have a name yet. We weren't Bag of Trix.
Okay.
How did Bag of Trix come up?
So there's in this era, high school dances were a big thing. Like high school performing was a big thing. Like in Toronto, if you performed at high schools, you were kind of like a neighborhood celebrity.
Okay.
Because you showed your talent in front of the community, right? You were dope, you get props. So we did this high school dance at my school, Western Collegiate. And Mishimi used to go there, rapper, she would go there. Dial, actor, a whole bunch of people there's talent that came from that school. So we do this high school dance and we're throwing down all night, killing it. And this MC that's in our crew, the adversary, goes, you guys should name yourselves. We came up with all kinds of names like Ray Rock and Rock this and Rock that, because that was the it was coming back,
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, why don't you guys call it Bag? And we were like, what? And he was like, yeah. He's like, you guys do a bunch of tricks, and the bag is the unity. You guys are like
Yeah.
together. And he's like, and you guys are all different. It's like, it's the craziest thing. I've never seen a crew so different. And
Yeah.
the name, we thought it was a weird name, but we thought it was a perfect name for what described our crew. So we were like, Bag of Trix, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I for a second I thought it was the cereal tricks. I thought I had to do something with that.
So you want to hear a joke, man? When we really got into it, like obviously doing shows and touring, and when we had management and everything, we got a letter from Kellogg. They sent us a book. They sent us a booklet about that thing, in what ways not to use tricks in any shape or form when it comes to any type of snack, food, anything of that nature.
Yeah, they went straight lawyer on your ass. Yeah.
Oh man, they sent us the Tricks of a Kid box picture and everything, and we were like, yo man, we're a dance crew. Our agent was like, yo, don't worry, I'll get the lawyer to deal with it, whatever. And he explained, they're a dance crew, like fucking down. They're not selling cereal. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because that actually did happen.
I wanted to mention, like, one of the first members of Bag of Trix that I ever got to meet was Mariano, actually, in my earlier days in the scene. So that's I think 2011, 2012. That's when I had the chance to meet him. We were in the East, in the Maritimes, for a jam, and I remember looking him up afterwards and finding like tapes from you guys in I think it's the stage battle. I think it's in Korea. It's got to be you guys against I think some Americans, or I can't remember precisely, but I remember being so impressed by that footage, because seeing how old it was, and how different you guys were from anybody else. And it's funny when you spoke a few minutes ago about like how you guys were kind of like a mashup dancer group in the beginning, like trying and moving different ways and stuff. I find that this defines Mariano so well, because like Mariano's kind of like, he's like a boogeyman, like he does all of these things. And and for me, Bag of Trix is kind of like, you put your hand in the bag and then something else comes out, and you never know what comes out of the bag. So you guys are always kind of like coming up with new ideas and concepts, and like, and stuff like that.
We never forced anybody to do anything different. It's like, when you go to practice and some guys are like, yo, you should do it this way. We didn't really do that. We just mostly encouraged, like, if you're gonna dance a certain way, make sure it's clean and emphasize your style, and don't forget about the music. And we also ended up kind of sticking to our guns even more after being invited to like Zulu Nation 92, 93 anniversary. Went to both of them. And it was encouraging for the OGs to tell us, like, they were still telling us, yo, your foundation, but they were telling us, like, it's refreshing to see, what we were doing.
Because there's a
really cool.
Like, and going back to this tape, like I remember thinking that you guys had a form. There was a specific breaking form that was kind of like slightly off from like the traditional New York style, like, and that and it kind of speaks like, it speaks so much on the importance of originality back then, and how like, like how you would get information from a specific thing or a specific person, and then it would translate on your teenage growing up body. You kind of make you make this your own, and it kind of becomes something else. When did everything kind of like start to make sense for you guys? Because like and when did Bag of Trix became like the notorious Bag of Trix? Like, when did you feel like Bag of Trix was started to get some recognition, not only like locally but also like worldwide?
That would probably be around like 98, 99.
Okay.
Times of Battle of the Year.
Yes. Battle. So what happened is, a lot of people don't know, that was like we were kind of asked to do a tour of comedy. And because they knew we were coming out to one competition, it just kind of made sense to keep us out there, and we would hit up all the rest of the competitions. So Thomas, a good friend of mine, you guys all know Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good friend of mine. I still keep in touch with him. I did Battle of the Year 2 years ago in Ottawa. We sent somebody, those guys. Shout out, like and Battle of the Year Thomas. But anyways, they were like, "Yo, we heard about you guys." Matter of fact, here's the story how they heard about us.
Okay.
The battle that we did, that Crazy Legs judged at Spectrum Soundbar, the one where we battled the raccoons, which was then Style Lords, and then Style Lords they also added on this kind of joint.
Yeah.
That battle, he sold that tape, made a tape, and he sold it. You could be angry at the fact that he sold the tape, and it was a production of somebody I knew that was doing it, like that battle, and they didn't see any money from it. But at the same time, if he never did that, so many crews would have never seen us.
Interesting.
I believe me and Poe were talking, and Poe was like, "Yo, that's how I first saw you guys. It was from a tape that Lights was still." And I'm like, "That's crazy." Like, I had no idea that's how, because we have a really close relationship with Style Limits. Just because a lot of people, so when they found out who we were, a lot of people were matching us. They were like, "We want to see Style Elements and Bag of Trix go at." That was supposed to happen.
Okay.
And no, like, nothing heated. It's just everybody was like, "That's a great matchup."
Yeah.
And that whole thing, that's how they saw us. So then, after seeing all of that, word got around, and eventually I was like, "Yo, do you guys want to compete Battle of the Year?" Mariano was the one. Him and he did a lot of the PR for us, to make sure that we got our plane tickets and taken care of and stuff. So it was first we had to go to Korea. It was the one that you guys saw, the Hip Hop World Cup, the World Hip Hop Festival competition.
Yeah, something like that.
The World Hip Hop Festival competition. And then that's when we battled, and I knew that wasn't fair. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm battling one of my gods, like legends, like one of my guys I look up to. I'm battling Kenny. Like, what? This is insane." Like, when I realized that Kenny was in the competition, I was like, nobody's winning this. This is it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up. Like, and Kenny and Flo with Crumbs, and forget it. I was like, but at the same time, I was like, I want to end up battling them in the finals, hopefully. Because that was amazing to dance with one of the b-boys that I looked up to, and actually that I watched on a VHS tape, put James to being on stage with another country. And that was. I didn't even care about the battle. I just was there. Like, I hung out with Pop Pete. Pete was there. I hung out with Spartanic Rockers.
Okay. Wow.
They were there. Who else was there? Wiggles was there. Wiggles. I always see Wiggles though, because I go to New York. But saw just seeing Wiggles overseas felt good too. Made me feel like I was at home, like, you know. So it was dope, man. Like that competition was dope. And then they took us out to Germany. Now, not trying to be like the stereotypical black guy and tell you that I was scared to go to Germany, but I was like, I don't want Germany. Like, what? Germany? What the hell am I going to Germany for? And it was that, remember, the whole in the box thing, you know, I'm not leaving my city or country type thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Korea was a culture shock for sure. That I enjoyed it though, but being black in Korea, like obviously stand sort of everybody, they're welcoming people for sure. I had fun with all those B-boys, Ducky and all those guys. I had fun with all those guys. But it was just that was my first real like culture shock, Korea. But Germany, Korea was more like I could get some bootleg shoes that look real. Like I was really more back, you know, get some electronics. I was more thinking that way with Korea. This shit, I was like, Germany is like, I don't know. I'm like, I know nothing about Germany. And when I landed, the airport scared the shit out of me. I was just like, I don't remember if the guys had guns, these big machine guns. I don't remember. It's like we landed, we were going to the airport, and as soon as we got outside, I was like, what? This is Germany? Oh my God. Went crazy. Drink beer, eating all kinds of food, going to parties, just everybody's hip hop, Adidas tracksuits everywhere. I'm like, what's going on? Soccer, like everything's just there, right? I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And and then they took us to Leipzig. We stayed in Leipzig.
Okay.
That's like outside of the major city. And that was actually a trip because it was still kind of like in I guess a communist type vibe. So the crazy thing is our place was still, we had like three-story like house. There's no elevators, we got stairs, right? Right. And we had a dope house and everything, but walking to and from like our spot to make the pickup or whatever, people would be doing like this through their windows and stuff. It was crazy, like because could you imagine walking down the street like this, hat to the side, like all of us? Like, they've never seen that before, right? So that little outside city, that was cool, man. It was people were nice. Anywhere I've been, I've never been treated badly. To God, to say that, I'm truly blessed. Like I'm like one of those guys. If we go on a trip, I want to go hang out with like locals. I don't like staying on the resorts or like I love that treatment. But if I really want to get into where I'm at, I go hang with people, right? So so we did that battle, and then from when Thomas and those guys heard, well, when they heard how well we did in Korea, they were all amped for us. They were actually headhunting us. After they found out that we did so well in Korea, they were like, okay, but you guys get to Battles of the Air and the UK B-Boy Championships. They were like, these guys can't win. And it was, you know what? It was a dope journey because most of the crews were kind of on the same journey in that time. So it was 99 was like the time where we just kind of took off over. And it was like those 3 straight battles straight from there. And then 99 UK is the one that we won.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. You guys freaking you made your name out there, you know. You came in, you did the mission, you came back. So it seems like it worked out well.
The troops came back home.
And I was blessed to go back a few more times to rep with Dizzy and those guys and pieces and you know, we
Okay.
went back with the team, and I've enjoyed it. It's been a good journey, man. Yeah.
It's insane that, like you said, someone saw you guys from a tape, and then the connection happened with someone overseas from that tape. So, and then we spoke to like Lazy Legs a few months ago, and like Lazy Legs blew up because of a video someone posted on the B-Board World forums of him, and that kind of like stirred some shit, and he became like an online phenomena. And then you fast forward to today, someone can blow up from posting something on like through their phone on their social media. It's crazy how
That's right.
things are moving at a ridiculous speed. And I guess like we can slowly start to jump into like the Red Bull, like the Red Bull thing. But it's insane to think that you guys were kind of like in the first few ones to really have that opportunity to go out there and see the world and put Canada on the map. Like, can you explain, like, can briefly explain like how things kind of like slowed down for you guys? Because like I'm assuming that at some point, your wrist and ankles, they start to hurt, and everyone's priorities kind of change and stuff like that. So was there ever such a thing as a fall down for Bag of Trix? Like, I'm putting big like quotation marks. Was there such a thing as a fall down?
Oh, definitely. It's like every rock and roll band, right? There's always you're right. Look at Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. When I watched the documentary, I was like, no, this can't be her.
I was like, no, this can't be true. Right? So it's like and you know what? Like you said, people just grow, right? And I decided to take control of Bag of Trix in a sense where I wanted it more of a company that represents our culture in terms of, you know, entertainment, getting the standard of dancers being paid better, being treated better as a dancer in the corporate companies that all want to hire us all the time. So I took Bag of Trix and I did that. I did an incorporated company with a few people that we work with in promotional groups in Toronto that do club venues and concerts, and with Maestro and Chaos, and, you know, I work. And I decided to do that because, again, like you said, everybody was just changing. People change for the good, right? So Gizmo became more of a chemical engineer, but doesn't stop dancing. It's like a lot of these, like Mariano, he stuck to his brains, but he didn't run with the name Bag of Trix. He created his own dance phenomenon, right? So he's got the footnotes. I give props to him because he really stuck into the choreo, house music. You know, he decided to go in that direction. And then you have Flex, who is doing the UBL, right? These guys are helping the CDS, and, you know, and the Olympics that's going to be happening in a couple of years, right? So he's involved in that. So, and then the rest of them are still, you know, dads and moms and go to work. But some of these guys still dance a little. It's something that you're in love with, so you'll never forget. Tommy C's went straight to the popping. You know, world with him and Frank Boogie, you know, rhythmic funk movement. What you got? Those guys are part of the EB Canadian family, like, you know what I mean? So everybody kind of, I saw that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because even myself, I was growing. I can't have it anymore. You know, even though if someone wanted me to, I'd do it for fun, but I'm not taking it serious. I don't think I'm going anywhere with it. So, you know, I wanted to still be able to be around the battles, but if that's right, I want to say that, and that's where a lot of, you know, doing the Harborfront competitions down in Harborfront for like 10 or 12 years, free B-boys and B-girls to come out and represent. That was a part of it. Andy's Pool Hall, just everybody comes out on a Tuesday night. Cyphers, that became a real hot spot, famous place. All the B-boys, Dave Flo's been there, EMIL, Kenny, Tristan, everybody's been, you know, that was like the spot, you know, to get down. So we noticed, I noticed that, like you said, I'm not going to be doing like Claire Windmill, like, you know.
Yeah, you're doing a
you know,
competition round.
right? And then wake up the next day and think everything's going to feel okay. No, it's the body is wear and tear. And our generation, you know, my body could have lasted longer, but our generation of what we call getting down to go Cypher was not like grab the weights and like tension bands and more. No, we were like, where's the rum and coke? Get the, you know what I mean? Like roll up, like it was just more of that street vibe, like it, you know. And we still be disciplined, session per hour, but it wasn't. It's not more. It's now it's becoming more of an athletic training.
Yeah,
right,
100%.
right. Which is good to stay in shape, and I don't want to mix that with saying that the dance is athletic in a sense where it's like a sports thing, because it's not. It's a dance, right? Just like somebody said to me the other day, they're like, "Well, the moves are looking very acrobatic." I'm like, that's not acro. I'm like, a swipe is not acro. Show me that in an acro form, and then we can talk about that, right? Like turtles. You ever seen anybody go on floor routine and do turtles? Like, no, it's not acro, right? It's not.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's its own thing, right? So, that's kind of like the direction I was kind of heading, because after winning the championship, there were some realities that needed to be seen, and for me, and this is crazy. It's like sometimes, you know, when you feel like you win a championship, you feel like you've already accomplished it, so there's nothing really else kind of change. You think that where you like, for example, you just beat up a world champion boxer, right? And your next fight, you're not thinking about changing your technique. It worked the last fight, right? For me and Tony, it wasn't like that. We won, but I felt this like need to fill this hole that. So what we decided to do, and I think this is kind of what drove the crew to kind of separate, is we decided to start all over in terms of learning. And I literally mean, guys, all over again. I was doing 6-step drills for like months, just straight 6, not even 4, 2, just straight, and then we just work on 4s, 3s. We literally started right from the bottom again and built up, and that's kind of like the era after Bag of Trix, where I had this intention of being able to dance with all these artists and tour and shit, because I was training with, well, Troubles called us the 4 horses. So myself, Jedi, Ice, Q-Rock. And Tony, I didn't have anybody to break with, because not only was drilling pop. So not only did we separate, kind of like, not only did the crew kind of separate, but I was also left kind of alone. It's like, who are you gonna practice with, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's crazy. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, and I have no problem practicing myself, but you always want to catch a vibe.
For sure.
Yeah, sharing. So it turned into Jedi actually leaving. And that, I don't want to get into that stuff. So hopefully one day you guys did Jedi.
Yeah.
Jedi Yeah, I left Supernatural, and he was like, "Yo, let's train together." Because we used to go to all the hip hop shows together. I'd see him at Nas, I'd see him EPMD, I'd see him everywhere. I'm like, "Yo, it's that," and this is where rival crews, right? This has been a rivalry that's going on. But me and him decided to be like, "Yo, you know what?" And because me and him have never had a problem. So a lot of the guys from Supernaturals, I don't have any problem with. So that old stuff that went on was just like internal stuff with some other guy, right? I couldn't get over. But besides that, all that junk, that kind of sparked a new relationship and a new generation, a new movement. In terms of like keeping Toronto kind of going in a sense where, and I'm not taking anything from anybody that was starting through at the time, but we were us four were the ones kind of like pushing the motivation. We were going out Cypher, places like that. These are all DJ nights that we do. And because we didn't have a lot of places to practice, so we'd say, "Hey, you know, let's go practice at the jam." Where's the best place to practice? It's at the jam. And we would go Cypher at the jam, and that's what we would do. So, and then Heisted and Q-Rock left DDT. And this is like, I believe, like 2001, 2002.
Okay.
And we made a run. That's actually kind of how I got this on my check. It was from us street performers, because the Four Horsemen, we decided we didn't want to work for anybody. We were like, I was so determined to be like, "Yo, I'm tired of these warehouse jobs." I didn't even care. I was working like a year, something like that. I'm tired of like putting them on, you know, bringing people to the store, cooking, you know, telling them to get this and that. I was like, we need our own thing. And we decided street hit. The street hitting, and I got to credit it, my brothers, KML, Quick Step, guys, when you used to Full Circle, when you used to perform, and Caravana, Toronto. That's what people perform. A lot of hitters used to come for Caravana. Friday night, all the Yankees to Toronto for Caravana. So we took that concept. They even showed me how to do it. It's on tape. They introduced me on how to do it, and we just did it from there. Man. Bomb Shelter, big up Bomb Shelter. They let us kind of like keep our linoleum in the shop. We had a bucket and fill up, and we like fill up the bucket, and we put a tie on him, and be like, "Yeah, just fill up." He doesn't work anywhere. We work, and we be downtown being like, "We don't work at McDonald's. We don't work at H&M. We don't work at," you know, we work right here, and we do shows and get paid, and we made money. And that's how Red Bull representative actually got to see it.
Interesting.
Okay. Damn.
How long ago was that?
That was like that, yeah. Well, 02, 03,
okay,
I believe.
So so that your relationship with Red Bull like goes that back?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been with Red Bull and I don't work for Red Bull,
right.
But I've been in relationship with Red Bull for over 10 years for sure.
Okay. So what's your involvement right now with this whole like Red Bull Canada Cypher and just like the opportunities for B-boys and B-girls in Canada when it comes to Red Bull?
Well, me and my colleague, and I have to give him a shout out, big up Group Jester.
Yeah.
You know, the ambassador from West Side.
Yeah.
He fantastic guy, man. Great guy. He inspired me from just the graffiti gallery and stuff they were doing, like showing me that there's so much more than just like, you know, dancing, right? In hip hop. And you can do a lot more with supporting dance other ways and still be involved, right? So me and him now we've become we're part of the Red Bull Dance Canada initiative.
Okay.
So we're in that department, Red Bull Dance, and we basically, our goal is to make sure that the grassroots gets watered. All these people, they get access to jams, podcasts, and they get the in on what's really going in on the streets. So our job is to make sure that it goes to the right, they get in on the right people, the right talent, and right people get cross connected so that they can network, so on and so forth. We're out here supporting anybody's movement, dance company, in order to get them off their feet, so that eventually we won't depend on getting grants and stuff like that. So that's our goal. We support all the dance out here that are street. So yeah, that's what we're doing this year.
So talking about, like you said, like, everybody knowing, getting the information around of what's going on. Can you talk to us about this upcoming Red Bull BC1 Canada Cypher? Since obviously we're promoting that one, and obviously there's a little change in the format, right? There's like a virtual prelim. So can you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, due to the circumstances of Canada and what we're going through, we can't fly everybody in for the prelims, and we want everybody to have access to the prelims. So what is the best way to do it? To have everybody apply online, and then if they qualify, they will be flown in. Their accommodation will be taken care of. Food will be taken care of. Will be well taken care of. And that's the reason why we're doing it that way, because of that situation that we're going through the country with flying people in. So we decided to just do the prelim that way. We could have done the prelim. The normal way we do prelims is we select our 15, and then we have that one last chance spot. But there's no last chance spot in Cyphers. It's just you get your 16. And we go on from there. Whoever the best B boy, best B girl will win.
Okay.
And there's a post that I just put up to. You can get all your information at REDBULL.CA/BC1. And you can just also, if you want to check out what's going on, who's posting, the hashtag at REDBULL.CA 21.
Okay. And something I wanted to make sure of, because I'm getting mixed information there. Is this going to be like the winner of this Canada Cypher? Are they getting a spot in the World Finals, or are they getting a spot? Essentially, they're going to participate in the Last Chance Cypher to get a spot.
Yeah, so you still have to participate in the Last Chance Cypher.
Okay.
Well, you're still going to Poland, which is
you're still going to Poland. Yeah. The beautiful, the beautiful thing about it too, that I was just saying to a lot of people that were asking me questions about it, I said, this is gonna be the first time where they're gonna actually see Canada, other than going on YouTube and watching our old ciphers from 2015 and 16. This is gonna be the first time where they're actually gonna be able to see Canadian talent. So the sign up that they use that hashtag, the hashtag REDBULL.CA DA21. People will be able to see them, and that's kind of like our goal. I think across Canada we have such high talented B-boys and B-girls. We just haven't been seen in a long time, and I believe the opportunity is not just from one person going, but the entire, for people from signing up, people competing, everybody's gonna get seen. DJs, everybody, they already know my attitude about me, but they, you know what I mean? Everybody new is gonna get seen, and that's what we're trying to do. We're always trying to show the newer, high quality guys that put it in the work. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously, like, we want to spice things up a bit, right? And like see who's gonna win or who do we think. But
Oh, so here's the crazy thing, and I don't know if I'm letting the cat out the bag. If I am, I'm probably in trouble. So Phil, I believe, already has some invites.
he has what? Sorry.
Phil
Yeah.
Phil Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe he already has.
To the
Okay,
World Finals?
he has his invite for the World Finals.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's
So-
possible.
So what I'm saying is, and if that is, what I'm saying is, everybody was kind of looking, well, you know, and I don't want to, I'm not judging, so I can say this. Everybody, I kind of feel like, believes Phil is the strongest one, and
Mhm.
right, so
Correct.
probably looking for him to win. He's training the most consistent. He's going all up. But there's a lot of dark horses up there we don't know about. So now that Phil may not be in
Yeah.
competition, now it opens the door to somebody else
Yeah.
to get seen and be put on that high
Yeah.
level. I believe this competition. The reason why, excuse me, the reason why I even got in to wanting to be a part of Red Bull, BCONE in Canada, or even someone, or even just making it happen, somebody making it happen, is it's one of the pinnacles of our dance culture.
Yeah.
And I feel Canada has a long history
Yeah.
from coast to coast that's so in depth that it should be involved. Like there shouldn't be any question about it.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of drives me to make sure that Canada is dope at what we do. We have a long history of hip hop. We're up the street from New York City, and 10-hour drive away. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that
Yeah.
far. The mecca of hip hop. So it's like, you know, when they have ciphers all over the world, and I love it. I love to see it. In India, in Korea, all over the world, and they get put on high profile. We're like right up the street from New York. We have a big profile. So
Yeah.
and it's coming because the dancers have been putting in the work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So and props to Phil, props to Lil 114, props to G-Tech, props to you know all those crews that entered the band, the West Coast to the East Coast, all those crews. I don't got anybody, sorry, but you know, Dangerous Goods, everybody that helped represent this whole movement is about, you know, getting our seat at the table so that we can. It doesn't necessarily have to be me that's driving. It can be any one of us, as long as it gets done, right?
Yeah.
So that's the goal, and the main goal. And I might be talking too big, but the main goal is like that maybe one year have like finals here.
Yeah.
Like a world final in Canada. Why not? We have dope cities. We have 3 major dope cities you can do it in, right?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think also the Canada Cypher in 2015. I think that was the first big one, right? Or the first Canada Cypher that we had, right?
Yes, 2015 was the first one. And 2016. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I thought that year, because everybody was invited, right? It was an invitation only that year, I think. And I think it was so well represented. Like, you know, you had the right guys, like you had essentially like Fresh Format, Sweet Technique from Montreal. You had Spook from Western Canada, you had Phil and J Bugs and then you had the guys from Toronto. So I just thought that was so well represented. And I think that was the first time that, you know, people essentially on YouTube were able to see like high level, maybe not the first time, but one of the big, in terms of a big stage, able to see like high level Canadian breaking across the nation, right? So that was I think for myself, it was my favorite year to watch for sure.
Yeah, it was, both years actually came out pretty well. And even so, for people that want to be at that high level, it was so important to have like the next year that year we had Kid David there, right?
Yeah.
It's important to have that high level dancer there so people can see, oh, if you want to battle somebody at this level, this is what it looks like. This is what you're gonna have to deal with it basically. And I think it's like the year after was like El Nino, Taisuke, and Rock.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this, you guys want to be high level? Well, here's a champion. He's won.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Find out what you need to know in order. And I think that's important for the younger ones to come up to have access to that. Not only just to have a dope competition, but to put people in that perspective, let them actually feel it and be like, oh, this is what it looks like, like to be at a high level B-boy or B-girl. Okay, this is what I gotta train. So yeah, man, that is the whole purpose of us working together.
So we're just over an hour. Before we have a tradition in the podcast, like we do this thing called the rapid fire questions. So we'll have you run through like a bunch of questions. But before we do that, we do want to know who you're putting your money on this year.
Because you're not a judge.
Because you're not a judge, so you can take a position.
Man.
Who's gonna take it now that, let's say, Phil is out of the equation? Like who you're rooting for? B-boy, B-girl.
Putting you on the spot, bro.
Yeah.
you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not too sure, guys. It's gonna be a surprise. I really don't know. All the guys that we think are, and here's the thing: it's an open invitation for anybody to qualify, right? So it's almost kind of like when we go through the process, maybe some of the guys that we thought might make it might get jumped up by somebody else. We don't even know what the lineup is going to look like. It's literally going to be insane of like who's going to pull through. But I know it's not going to be, first of all, I think it's going to be one of the highest levels of battles that we're going to actually see.
Yeah.
Not only for Canada BC1, but I do my homework. I watch all the ciphers, and I've seen a lot of these guys dance, and we're not that far behind.
Yeah.
I think our battles will be intense.
On our last episode, EMIL and I were just like chatting about the latest US Cypher that happened a few weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the Breaking Canada event had just happened. And we were playing the game of like just comparing in our head lineup versus the other lineup. And Canada's looking fly as fuck, man. If you ask me, our level is, I don't know, like I don't want to pump our tires too much, but like Canadian breaking is looking super fine right now.
Crazy,
so
you guys,
yeah, man.
You guys have some serious heat over there.
Yeah, that too.
Yes, I'm not gonna say any names. I know who's coming from the east side.
No, just everyone in general, like the West,
right?
Like everyone has some.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then there's guys here too that are just hungry. There's guys from the Midwest that are hungry. So I'm like, it's gonna be one of those competitions where almost every round you're gonna see some high level execution, some raw, just grimy breaking from the B girls too. B girls, don't sleep on the B girls. B girls, I don't want to say how many are gonna be involved, but the ones that are gonna be involved now, hey man, they're throwing some heavyweights.
I saw Konatsu for the first time in person yesterday at the event that was happening in Montreal.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there's Emma. So there's
I heard about But yo, Benzo, and this was great. This was great, man. Sorry. You were saying?
No, I said and there's Tiff, and it just goes on, and we'll see the B girls. Yeah, man. Excited.
Let's go. But yo, we're gonna let you go in a few minutes, but thank you for your time. Thanks for opening that big box of information for us. Feels like you're someone that has like years of history that, of course, we can't unpack in only an hour of conversation. But we'll make sure to stay in touch and perhaps have you on for part 2 to 25. We'll find a way.
Yeah,
to
man.
make
We'll
this
do
work.
we'll do a Bag of Tricks edition. You know.
Or a Bag of Tricks concept where we take episodes out of the bag, like take subjects and ideas out of the bag.
Right, exactly. Right.
But Emil's gonna have you run through the fire questions. So it's short questions. You can either give a short answer or give explanation, but it's usually funnier when you kind of just like fire your answer. So
Okay,
let's go.
Okay. All right.
All right. First question, Benzo. Favorite MC or hip hop group?
MC, Rakim, or group, it would be EPMD.
Nice.
Current artist that you like listening to right now?
Oh, group is Griselda. All Griselda.
Yes.
So this, you kind of have to, I guess, answer a matchup you'd like to see, or someone you'd like to battle, but kind of try to answer the both.
Oh, I'd like to battle again because he's so fun to battle. Flowmaster, love battle.
Ooh,
okay,
nice.
Yeah, and nice. Do you have a matchup you'd like to see? If we're keeping this Canadian version, do you have any?
I would like to see, and it would have, to be honest, I'd like to see it again since he got better. Would be Phil and Plato.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. Yeah.
Nice.
Dope. Current underdog of the scene. I know there's probably a few that might come up in your head.
I think there's brothers, the Calentes brothers. That's
yeah.
Anyo and Jay Bird. Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
Monsters. Yeah.
And Mark too, eh? Montu?
And Mark. Yeah, Montu. Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dope. Favorite jam ever of all time?
Oh man. There's too many of them.
You can name a few.
You know what? Let's go with the fam anniversary.
Nice.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
And is there one you enjoy particularly in Montreal?
Under Pressure.
Mm-hmm.
There's always been like my favorite thing to go to.
Yeah.
It just, you don't get to hang around graffiti artists that much. Well, I do a lot in green alley. It's different, but you don't get to see them like actually.
No, you don't have access to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and watch them do clean lines is crazy. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Dope. Local inspiration as well as international.
Local inspiration, probably Maestro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he kind of does your local and international.
Yeah, and then international, I would probably say, let's say Wiggles.
Okay, dope.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious for this one. Favorite kicks for breaking?
Oh man, there's like so many of it. I love breaking in Air Max 90s. Those feel really dope for breaking. But then I also like breaking in 574s, New Balance.
Okay. Yeah. Well balanced.
And then and then if I feel like doing like a heavy like flow style like Jordan 3s. Yeah.
Nope. Man, you got him. You got the 3 shoes in your head already, all ready to go. Did you have like a b-boy that was kind of like scary or tough or intimidating to battle in your beginnings in your first few years? Some say nah, or some do say.
I wouldn't say intimidating, but I would say tough. Like tough. Like I knew it was tough. Would be Cosmic from Intricate Crew.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Power move you wish you would have had.
Oh my God, airplay.
That's fair.
These kids are doing it like it's like a cartwheel. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, it's
bro, you see like six-year-olds do them, bro.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I saw this kid, 8 years old. He had a full like set of power and like he was dancing style,
yeah,
as if he was breaking for 30 years. I didn't understand.
Yeah, so if you don't start by like 5'4", forget about it now.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
More a bit more general, just breaking specific, but more general. West Coast or East Coast?
East Coast.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Ken Swift or Maurizio?
Oh, that's
I was like, that's too easy.
they're both my brothers. I love Maurizio. Maurizio came to Annie's pool hall and spun and everything.
Okay.
Love that guy.
We can do a pass if you like.
I can't do that.
Might be another.
They hear it and be like, "Yo, Benzo, what's up, man?"
Yeah.
You know?
They both call you at the same time.
Right.
Might be equally as tough. Maybe not. Premier or RZA?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I gotta go Primo on that one.
Yeah. All right. And just last question, man. Out of curiosity, obviously, since you're from Toronto, your opinion. What do you think of when we say Montreal breaking style?
It's true. You guys have your own style.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that just from watching Flow Rock and Tactical. Completely different way that we dance. I would even say at Montreal went Tactical, because Tactical, they were really heavy into like making sure they had their spinning power. They were really more agility was going on. And then Montreal, definitely, you guys just have your own. It's hard to even explain. It's just your own approach to the dance, right? A lot of it too, I noticed with the B girls. Matter of fact, forget that. The ladies out there don't play games. You guys, your ladies out there don't play games. Locking, popping, they got it down. Like breaking, it's just it's been I think the foundation might even, I can say that, your foundation might even be better than ours.
Well, we didn't say that. You did.
You heard it first.
No, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because, and maybe I could just be being specific to crews, maybe, but the crews that are here, if you look at it, a lot of it's a different foundation. I think your guys is a bit more like bang on point, and ours is a little bit more mixed because of our history, probably. Because I learned a lot from everybody. You gotta learn. You don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? So DKC taught me a lot. He was breaking before me. He's an 80s b-boy. Like,
the real one.
Saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a lot of those guys around still breaking. So, I think you guys have a very strong foundation. Who cares what anybody thinks I say here? They don't like me anyways.
No, but I feel like we could start a conversation right now, but we have to let you go. But we often say that Montreal's kind of like this weird pivot point on the planet, where like we're 6 hours from you guys, 6 hours from New York, and we're 6-hour flight to Paris. So there's this kind of weird spot that we are located in the world that makes us kind of like right in the middle of everyone's culture, influence.
Yes.
So perhaps that explains why why it's so hard to, even for us, to put a specific words on the Montreal style. But there's a lot of our local influence that we owe to like the cities that are surrounding us,
Oh yeah, look at guys like Torpedo. He had his own, like, you know what I mean? The first time I seen Torpedo, I was like, Jesus Lord, like this guy's, it's different from what we were doing, right? It's Mad Track, all those guys, it was something different. It was the same. And we, like you said, we can get into this on another chapter.
But yo, listen, this is great, man. This is very, very, very cool. First time we really spoke for that long as well. So it's cool to get to know you at the same time and deep dive into your story. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for opening up about your past and as well as the everything that's going on with Red Bull. Shout out to Red Bull. Shout out to Red Bull Canada, Red Bull BC1, you Benzo, as well as Bob, Boop Jester. Like, shout out to you guys for helping and supporting the podcast. Super appreciated.
Oh, for sure. Anything we guys, we're always here to support, man. And that we're just all trying to make sure that we keep the community together. And you know, eventually we're going to be self-sustained. And you know, you guys have your own TV show. That's what we're
yes, that's it. And we'll wrap it on that. All right. Peace.
Thanks for your time,
all right,
Benzo.
guys. All right, man. Peace.